Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to yet another live stream. I'm going to be doing these now more and more often. Today, going to touch base, revisit the Miami Mall situation, the incident that occurred down there. I have something new that's happened to me personally involving this whole situation down here. Um, that I think you guys are going to find very interesting. It has been very intriguing to me. What's up, Kyle? How's everybody doing today? What's going on? Shakes. Get my glasses here real quick. Want to say hi, and then we're going to get down to business. Shaka, Drifter, Bass Pro. What's up, Ricky Jackson? Last one, 207. Good to see you guys here. Thanks for stopping by. Do you guys get the feeling? Do you get the feeling like I do that there's way more to this whole Miami Mall story than we're being told? I do. I do. And I'm going to get right to it. But first, this video, I have a lot of things I want to share with you guys in this video. I have a whole row. See, I got two rows of videos that I'm going to share with you guys. And I may get to them all. Maybe not. They're all very interesting. They're not necessarily related to the Miami Mall incident, but I want to start off with this right away. Because I've had something occur here in the last few days that I found a little bit strange. But we're going to talk about um, Alaska sky, Florida sky again. Multiple things going on in the skies of Florida again. I don't know what's going on in Florida. Same situation as Miami. Something else occurred near Miami. I'm reading my little note card here. Split sky phenomenon, sounds in the sky. You name it, it's happening. But it seems like it's happening in Florida. What's going on in Florida? Here recently, I've gotten, let's just say, multiple invitations from people that claim to have been at the mall during this incident. In fact, I just got one yesterday. I've gotten others, but yesterday's was the most recent. Let's see if I can go to the Miami Mall. Like the gentleman in the video yesterday was talking that was supposedly there. I was given an invitation to interview this guy that was supposedly at the mall. There's supposedly going around. I haven't seen it yet. It's unconfirmed, but supposedly there's security camera footage that's starting to make the rounds. Maybe you guys have seen it. I haven't seen any official footage yet, but I have gotten invitations, more than one. And I'm going to share that invitation with you guys here in just a moment. Since I've been touching on this topic, and apparently it's a touchy subject, I guess. Like the Las Vegas incident that occurred last year, that came and created quite a huge frenzy, and then it just disappeared. How does that disappear? Now this, um, there was just way too much activity. 3 or 4 blocks of squad cars, active squad cars for teenagers with fireworks, and I've said that since day one. We've looked at some videos and did some analysis and stuff like that. Then I start noticing the rogue black cars in the neighborhood that I've never seen before. It's kind of weird. I'm not the paranoid type. I like to try to rationalize things and figure things out. Um, but the black cars that are going through the neighborhood, I see them sitting down the street. It's just kind of weird ever since I've been talking about the whole Miami Mall situation. Maybe it's just a coincidence. I don't think so. Uh, so much so that I've installed new security cameras. Yeah, I've actually done that since this whole thing, and I've been talking about it and just trying to figure it out, just like everybody else. And there's a gentleman that reached out to me. I've had more than one person reach out to me regarding this whole incident down here. And what I have on here, WION, this is a screen grab of the video footage of all the squad cars. I mean, they closed the mall, over fireworks, teenagers and fireworks. There were 3 or 4 blocks of squad cars. Come on, I think we all know that there was way more to this situation than what we're being told. Well, I received, this is like the fourth time, maybe fifth time, I received an invitation from somebody that was, and this is the communication I had just yesterday. The other ones, I'd have to find them, but they just occurred within the last 10 days. Um, Let me get this guy right here. Here we go. I just received this correspondence less than 24 hours ago. This is fresh, hot off the press. I contacted this young man who was an eyewitness to the Miami aliens at Bayside Mall. I'm trying to arrange interviews for him. Would you be interested? Again, this is one of many that I've had here recently within the last 10 days. Actually, since I did a video about the Miami Mall thing, I've had people reach out because I'm curious just like you. All of you over here are just as curious as anybody else on earth. Okay? This guy claims he was there. He claims that the video footage he has video footage on his phone. This is a brief conversation that I had with an individual that goes on to say, I'll put you directly in touch with him. This being that gentleman right there that supposedly was at the mall when this occurred. And he even says there's going to be more footage come out. It's going to happen. The guy that was there, he says it has to. He said it really happened. He goes, however, he wants, compensated. I get that, people are trying to capitalize off of it, but wanted to know if I was interested. And this isn't the first time I've had somebody reach out wanting me to, or asking me if I would be interested in interviewing somebody that was there. And I haven't yet. I'm not saying I'm going to. I'm still trying to make sense of all this myself. But again, like this gentleman here said, that, he said himself, there were way too many, 3 or 4 blocks of squad cars. He claims to be an eyewitness. Um, he says he saw something, and he says, he's shocked. He said he's very shocked. He said that there's no footage from other than what you guys are starting to see. There's some rogue security camera footage that's making the rounds, and um, you know he has supposedly legitimate footage. He was there, and you can tell he was kind of shaken up by this whole ordeal. It affected him. You could totally tell that he was very puzzled by this whole situation. Doesn't know what happened, why it happened. He said that he thought he was showing, they came in and said, what did you see? What happened? He goes, oh, I've got it on video right here. And they told him to delete it. And of course, he deleted it, but it didn't get completely deleted from his phone. So I guess he still has the video footage. He's waiting for the right time to share it, whether it's with me or somebody else. We'll see. We'll see. But I've had other people reach out that were wanting to know if I would be interested in interviewing somebody. And if it's real footage, we've looked at some stuff that was kind of, so. We want the real stuff. If you've got the real stuff, then yeah, So we'll see. That's something that we're looking at. Haven't made any commitments yet, but that is definitely uh, something that is, maybe in the works. But again, here recently, I'm just saying, I've installed new security cameras at home. There's just been some unusual activity that I've been noticing here lately that I haven't noticed before. I'll leave it at that. And it happened ever since we started talking about this. Now, it's not like I talk about it every day. I've done a couple of videos about it. That I'm not the only one. There's thousands of people that are talking about this, and it's still being talked about. So don't know, guys. All I do know, there was a massive presence of police cars that went for 2, 3, even 4 blocks. So that just tells you right there that there was way more to this story, way, way, way more than what we're being told. I will say this, and maybe you guys have seen footage that I haven't. Have you seen any footage of teenagers with fireworks or anything like that in or around the mall? I haven't seen any, and that was supposedly why they were there, to get that situation under control. Well, I've never even seen any of that footage. So, that alone is highly suspicious. Um, but yeah, like I said, guys, seeing strange black cars kind of milling around, sitting across the street that I've never seen before, and this has all been taking place in the last 8 to 10 days. And so, like I said, I've installed new security cameras, actually 3 new security cameras. Gotta make sure the gate is locked out front. It's just kind of weird. That's all. Like this situation here, kind of weird. So I've got people that are reaching out to me wanting to know if I would be interested in doing interviews, and would I be interested? Of course, if the footage that they have, if they're legitimately from, the Miami area, we're at the mall on this given day. There was another situation that occurred in the Miami area here. There were flames. I don't know if you guys saw this. I'm sure you probably did. Dated yesterday, January 19th. Flames seen shooting from Boeing 747 over Miami. Are you serious? Check it out. Here's a close-up view of a jet leaving the Miami airport. This was filmed from Kendall, Florida. What you're about to see, again, I'm telling you, like I mentioned the other day, and maybe this is it. I talked about the invasion over Miami the other day. That's kind of when, I started noticing activity around with the black cars after the invasion video. So between the Miami Mall, the invasion video, I've got more stuff to share with you guys out of Florida. Florida is hot right now. I'm telling you. This is hot, literally and figuratively. Look at this here out of Kendall, Florida. Kendall is south of Miami. This was filmed from Kendall, Florida, looking north towards Miami by Melanie Aderos on 1/18 of 2024. Less than 48 hours ago. Are you serious? 747 flying through the air, flames shooting out the back of it. You can't make this stuff up. Florida again. Unbelievable. 747 takes off out of Miami Airport, not far from the Miami Mall where the situation occurred a few days ago. Now we have jets in the air with flames coming out the back of them. Again, you can't make this stuff up. There's a lot, I mean a lot going on in Florida. And this was a Boeing 747 flight over Miami. Video shows flames apparently coming from the back of the aircraft shortly after takeoff. The brief clip captured by someone on the ground. They were in Kendall. I'll show you where Kendall's at. Kendall is right here. This is Google Earth. Miami is right here. Kendall is south and west, just a few miles of Miami. That's where that video was just, that I just showed you guys, was just filmed from, or was filmed from Miami, looking up from Kendall, looking up towards Miami. Right in that area there. And then, of course, the whole Miami Mall situation, and then the invasion video, all the footage that you guys share with me from January the 10th. It seemed like ever since this went down, this whole situation here, there's been nonstop activity in Florida. I get video footage now, it seems like constantly out of Florida. I have another one out of Florida. Check this out. Gentleman sees what looks like the outline of a ship in the sky. Check it out. No joke. You can't make this stuff up. I just got this brand spanking new video. And when I say sometimes you guys, the video footage that you see here, in some cases, this is the only place in the world that you're going to see it, because people, they're just ordinary people, but they encounter sometimes these extraordinary situations. They'll share this footage with me. I share it with you. And that's as far as it goes. So sometimes the footage you see here, like this here by Alan out of Tampa, Florida, from January 19th of 2024 at 6:28 p.m. Again, fresh off the press, less than 24 hours old. Look at the big structure he sees up in the sky. Florida again. What's going on in Florida?
That's a square in the sky.
Alan says that's a square in the sky. He looks up, sees a square in the sky. Guess where? Florida. You got it. Wow, check it out.
Well, that's a square in the sky.
Why? What is happening in Florida? Are you serious? There you go. This reminds me of the invasion. So I'll probably go out and see the black cars out front, but here, because we're talking about the invasion again. But that's just what it looks like, you know? What makes a perfect outline like that in the sky? You've got what looks like a boat, backside right there, and then you got the bow up front. Come on. You know what I mean? Something was up there. Something went through the clouds that was shaped like that above Tampa, Florida. Again, Florida is hot, 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 hot. Been hot since January the 1st. There's something going on in the skies of Florida, guys. Something going on in the skies of Florida. It started apparently on the ground. We've seen stuff off the coast of Florida, off of Lauderdale, not Fort Lauderdale, Lauderdale by the sea. In fact, let's just see if we can find yeah, right there's Fort Lauderdale. Lauderdale by the sea is in the same general area. Where is Lauderdale by the sea? There was a green mysterious light down here at Lauderdale by the sea, spotted off the coast, just not too far off the coast. The lady was that saw it was hoping it was bioluminescence, but it was not bioluminescence. There was a mysterious green glowing light offshore down here, not far from, you guessed it, the Miami Mall. And we've seen the invasion above Florida, the mysterious structures in the clouds. Now, the one that I just shared with you, this is a brand new one sent in by Alan. Here's another look at it. He looked up and saw a square in the sky. The original video is on the right. That was the format that it was sent to me in. It was a vertical video. So when you guys are filming videos, if you ever see something in the sky or anything for that matter, always turn your phone to the side. Otherwise, your video will be a vertical video. Turn it to the side and it will make your video full screen. So sometimes we get in a hurry or whatever, and you film like that. Well, if you film like that, your video is going to be vertical. Turn it on, turn your video like that, and you get a much wider field of view. But he did a great job. We got the idea. He looked up, saw a perfect square, almost looks like a rectangle along the back, and then the front kind of goes at a V. What? Yeah. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. You cannot make this stuff up. I'm just checking this off the list. Okay, Florida Sky Square. Got a lot to share with you guys in this video, so stick around. And again, a lot of this footage this is the only place in the world that you're going to see it. So if you're a current subscriber, double check, make sure you're still subscribed. If you're a new viewer, by all means, subscribe. Click that button right next to the subscribe button right there, that bell. Click it. That way you'll be notified each time I upload a new video. There's the Florida Mall again, guys. That's where we started the video. I'm not done talking about this yet. I still have some things that I'm working on with regard to this. I've gotten, like I said, multiple requests from people that claim to either have been there and want to share their message. Like he said, he wants to share his truth. He said he saw, hello, Fred Lee. Welcome to the Star family, Fred Lee. Gentleman that claims he was there at the mall, has footage of what he said were three alien creatures. He said they were not human. And he thought that the video footage that he had he was doing something, in his words, to help the world. But apparently he was asked to delete it. So I don't know. So we're working on that. Keeping the security cameras updated and things like that around here, because since Florida's been hot, I'm telling you, we're 20 days into 2024. And I think I've received more videos out of Florida in the first 20 days of 2024 than I have in 10 years. It seems like it. I've received a lot of footage out of Florida. Unbelievable. So once again, there's some new footage going around. I haven't seen anything that's been 100% confirmed, but there's apparently some new footage going around from a security camera in the Bayside Mall. And I think the footage it shows up, disappears, shows up, disappears. This is a still image from possibly a segment of that. I'm not quite sure what's going on here, but there is some footage making the rounds of possibly footage from inside that mall. Once again, I've been reached out to several times from several different people inquiring about an interview. So we'll see, guys. Wow. Okay, where are we going to go next? I've got a lot of stuff to share with you guys. Okay, I showed you the Florida. What's this one here? Florida. Oh, that's the Florida jet. I showed you the Florida jet. Havasu City, lanterns. Can I? Oh, yeah, here's a jet out of AZ. This is something that I recorded myself. And I'll go through it and fast forward. I was just driving down the road and happened to see that coming in for landing. I took this myself a few days ago. But check out, I'll get right to the meat and potatoes here. This is like a big strato tanker or something coming in for a landing. Well, when I looked, I had to look twice. I'm driving down the road trying to keep the camera, and I had to turn sideways. Check it out. Looks like it's going to land on these houses over here. Are you serious? Can you imagine having a jumbo jet that size? You go outside and look up, that thing's less than, what, 150 feet above the rooftops of those houses over there? Whoa, look at that. So I might go over there and get you guys some footage from that location of these big jumbos coming in for a landing 150 feet above rooftops of residential homes. I think the airport was built before the homes were. I don't know. That was something I noticed just a few days ago. Pretty wild. Going to Alaska. Here we go. Video footage sent in by David. Again, this footage is very new. It's probably the only place in the world you're going to see it because David, who's from Alaska, Kenai, Alaska, David Dewey, this video is just a few hours old. To the best of my knowledge, he's only shared it with me. So he shares it with me and I share it with you. This is the only place in the world you're going to see it. He saw something in the sky. He was looking south at 2 o'clock this morning. I'm telling you, the skies are active around the planet, more active than I've ever seen. He looks up and sees this at 2:10 in the morning. Just last night. He lives here, so this wasn't supposed to be in the sky. It wasn't an airplane, wasn't a helicopter. It was way too big to be a drone. He said it was around 2,000 feet in the sky. He's looking south. 2 o'clock in the morning, Kenai, Alaska.
If it was like 10 after 2 in the morning of January 20th, Kenai, Alaska, looking south.
He just says 2:10 in the morning, Kenai, Alaska, looking south. Name, date, location. Perfect. So we know where we're at. We know where we're looking. We just don't know what we're looking at here. What is that thing?
We're active all the time.
But again, he lives here. It's just like you. If you're living in your neighborhood, you step outside, you look up, and you see something bright in your sky that's not a planet, it's not an airplane, not a helicopter. Of course, you're going to be compelled to record it. We all carry around high-definition recording devices these days. Pretty much everybody has one. So you have the ability to record things on the fly. So that's what's even more mysterious about the Miami Mall thing. This was a great observation by David at 2 o'clock in the morning. Just a few hours ago, he took this video footage. If he was up at 2 o'clock in the morning, he's probably sleeping right now. But thank you, David. Great video. Really appreciate it. Mysterious light spotted above Kenai, Alaska. But going back to, thank you, Kelly, for the super chat. Thank you for your great work, great analysis of the LV in Florida. You're welcome. It's my pleasure. There's way more to this story, guys. There just has to be, that's why I find it very, very fascinating. Something happened down there, but because there's no footage from inside this huge incident. And any other time, you're going to have like a major outlet there, cable news outlet there, reporting, from Bayside. Nothing. No videos, no nothing. Now I'm getting people that are asking me, hey, would you be interested in interviewing somebody? So, I'm like, okay, well, let me think this through. Of course I would, I want to know just as much as you guys do. Um, but our common logic tells us that there's not going to be 50 or 60, 3 to 4 blocks of squad cars show up at any mall, anywhere in the world, close it down because of teenagers lighting up little firecrackers. Like, because you're putting the rest of the community in an unsafe position by having all those squad cars and all that personnel convene on one location at the same exact time. So that too is you're just looking at this from just a very basic common sense standpoint. That's a lot of personnel to send to one location. Oh, a lot. So that means these other locations are just being left out. There's nobody monitoring these other neighborhoods because everybody went to the mall. Probably everybody within a 10-mile radius, it looked like, from the looks of all these squad cars. I mean, that is an unbelievable presence. Something went on there. We may not know now what went on. We may not ever know. But I think some people do know, and they're trying, to get the word out. But we'll see. We'll see, guys. Yeah, definitely would love to know. So again, I'm getting multiple requests for interviews. Here we go. Another video. This one here sent in by Shane. Again, this is brand new video footage. You won't see anywhere else. Sent in by Shane from a storm out east. And here we go. This is what he noted. He wanted to know if this was, in his email that he sent me, he wanted to know if this was some sort of a signal because of how the light was dancing around like sheets in the sky. And I know a lot of you are going to say, oh, that's the camera. The camera is being oversaturated by light. Oh, no, it's not. And I'll show you why. Check this out. So what I did, I took the video, I put it in slow motion. We're going to analyze this video and prove that that is indeed in the sky. And then from this video, I'm going to take you to another video. Coincidentally, yes, you guessed it, out of Florida, of all places. I used to live in Florida years ago, and I don't remember this type of activity when I lived there. This is in the sky. This is actually something that occurred in the sky. This gentleman's camera is not being oversaturated by intense bright light. Yes, there's lightning off in the distance that he was recording, but if it was oversaturating the sensor on his recording device, you would see this line go all the way down the screen right up to the very front. It would occupy the whole screen. It wouldn't stop behind that light you see right there. And that light you see right there is not what caused that split sky phenomena. We see the split sky phenomena in the daylight, in the evening, and sometimes in the morning, but primarily when it is visible, which isn't very often. You'll see the sky split just like that when the sun's setting. The light is reflecting off of a mountain somewhere, and it will create that line in the sky. He'd never seen this before when it comes to lightning, and lightning can react the same way as sunlight, but it's just much faster. That's why it looked like he's like, is this some sort of a signal? So the light's over here on the left. Watch what happens. In a nanosecond, check this out. Flips to the right in less than a blink of an eye. See how quick it flipped? But again, notice there's no light right up here in front of the viewer. The light is off in the distance. So whatever was manipulating the lightning was way off in the distance. Just like when the sunlight impacts the earth, sometimes it's manipulated and redirected by a mountain that you may not even be able to see, but it will create the split sky phenomena. So not always, sometimes, yeah, the camera will be oversaturated by up close lightning, but you have to be less than like 5,000 feet from the lightning. He's obviously a couple, 3 miles away from the source. Something is manipulating the light. That is actually a real phenomenon that's called sheet lightning. There's something splitting, redirecting the light, causing one half of the sky to look dark and one half to look bright. Really very cool. Here I slow it down, and you can see the entire vertical video. This is and again, he filmed this like this. If you want the whole skyline over there, just turn your phone like that, and you get all that blank spot over there. You can see it all. But instead we get the vertical video. Turn your video sideways. But it still worked out perfect. See how it's dark here in the front? If that were oversaturation from intense lightning, all of that would be lit up. The whole line would occupy the entire frame, not stop off in the distance. So that is actually in the sky. And I know there's a debate. Every time I show this, there's always a debate, and there's always skeptics that's no. That's oversaturation of the sensor on the recording device. No, it's not. That happens in the sky. And I can assure you that light, those photons are the ultimate tricksters, man. They move so fast, they can do some pretty amazing things. Now I just switched over to the right-hand side that quick. So look at that. Flipped back, boom, boom. Look at that. Unreal. Very cool. And again, he wanted to know if that was some sort of a signal. I admit that is quite, in fact, great catch, Shane. Great catch. But we've had some storms moving across the country here recently. Got a storm behind me that just erupted off the backside of the sun, sent a CME soaring. If that would have been Earth directed, we would have a solar storm inbound, but it wasn't. That was on the backside of the sun. That's the Soho, Alaska OC3. See that right there? Whoosh, there it goes. Big old eruption on the backside of the sun. So what does that tell us? That there's activity coming towards the Earth here in just a few days. Right now, a little bit of activity. That was on the backside. If that would have been on the Earth-facing side of the sun, that probably would have been at least an M-class solar flare. Looking at the Earth-facing side of the sun, once again, loaded with sunspots. But they are quiet. And that tells us this is the calm before the storm. There's a storm brewing, guys. Oh, yeah. There's a storm brewing. This is way, way, way too quiet. This is not normal. It's way too quiet. There's way too many active regions here. When you have active regions, you have negative and positive polarities, okay? When they start dancing around, they erupt, like the one you just saw behind me. For some reason, they're remaining very stable. They're staying in their lanes. You got the positive and the negative charges. They're staying in their lanes. When they intertwine, you get the solar flares and sometimes a CME. Why are they staying in their lanes? They usually don't. That's the calm before the storm. Something has got them just stuck. They're stationary. Once that dissipates, these things are going to let off some solar flares, and we're going to see probably some very large solar flares any day. Any day. Power outage situation, there's a storm brewing, guys. It's coming, trust you me. The Schumann resonance has been very quiet. Again, calm before the storm. Just be ready. Those of you that are sensitive to the Schumann, it's been super quiet. That's telling us a story. There's a storm brewing. The sun, way too quiet. There's a storm brewing. Those of you that are sensitive, sometimes people are sensitive to the quietness of the Schumann. You wonder why your ears are ringing, maybe why you couldn't sleep at night, something waking you up, things like that. Everybody's sensitive to this energy. You can't escape it. It's just part of being human. So yeah, there's a storm brewing, guys. This has been way too quiet. Looking at the power outage situation, speaking of storms, that's what's created all the havoc out here in Oregon. We hardly ever see Oregon without power. 41,000 without power right now as I do this video in Oregon. 1,700 in the state of Washington. Looking at the mighty Yellowstone supervolcano caldera. A little bit of activity over here at Madison River, Maple Creek, Grayling Creek, Hebgen Lake, quiet. The red vertical lines you see represent earthquake activity. Again, we monitor the Yellowstone supervolcano in anticipation of an event. When we start to see activity over here, then we know it's time to get ready for an event. Right now, there's a little bit of sporadic activity over here. That could be from larger earthquakes around the world, but we haven't seen anything like super, super big in the 7 range. But I can say this with 100% confidence. There's going to be an earthquake today in California. Just watch. You'll see there's going to be one in California. You heard it here first. Earthquake in California. P. Brown. Yes, sir. Butterfly 31. Going to be an earthquake today in California. You heard it here. Here's the Schumann again. We saw a spike, 96 hours ago. Lasted maybe 2 hours at tops. And that's it. Way too quiet. Something's got everything neutralized. The Schumann's been very neutral. The Earth facing side of the sun's been neutral, with the exception of the back side of the sun. You saw a big solar flare there. That's going to be turning around facing the Earth here very soon. So, yeah, just be ready, guys. There's definitely a storm brewing. There's also a epic total solar eclipse brewing. We're 78 days, 19 hours away from quite possibly the solar eclipse of a generation. Can you imagine looking up and seeing that in the daytime sky, and then looking up and seeing that next to the sun? Are you kidding me? You can't make this stuff up. So we're going to the path of totality. Yes, we are. This is a generational thing. I've never heard of anything like this happening. A comet, inbound comet, not just any ordinary comet, a volcanic comet, an icy volcanic comet coming in. Right there it is. It's still coming. It hasn't gone anywhere, but coming in for its close approach. Close approach is called perihelion. When a comet makes its close approach to the sun, it's called perihelion. Guess what? Its perihelion is going to be the same day as the solar eclipse. Get out of here. I say, no, yeah, oh yeah. And here's the path of totality. We're going to be in this path filming live this epic event. And I mean epic event. Daylight is going to turn to darkness. A comet is going to fill the sky next to the sun at around the 10 o'clock position. Could be throwing a fit at that very time. And more than likely it will be. That's why I mentioned perihelion. It's going to be more visible to viewers on the ground. You're going to be looking up, seeing something like that. I mean, you can't make this stuff up, man. Right there. There you go. Could be something like that, but it could have wings. Yeah, like a winged planet. This thing's about the size of Houston, Texas. When it gets closer to the sun, it's going to react even more. Right now, it's millions and millions and millions of miles away from the sun, and it's still throwing fits every once in a while. What I mean by fits, it's having volcanic eruptions. And when it does, it's letting off these big plumes that turn into wings. Some are describing them as horns. That's going to be next to the sun on April 8th during the eclipse. Got to be kidding me. Got to be kidding me. So you'll definitely want to subscribe to the YouTube channel for that event. We're going to be recording live somewhere in this yellow line, anywhere in between Newfoundland, Nova Scotia, New York, Ohio, Indiana, Southern Illinois, Texas, wherever it's not cloudy. We're waiting. That's why I'm watching the countdown so closely. We're 78 days. We're actually 68 days from a 10-day weather forecast. So if I can get a really good weather forecast, it's going to be like, hey, man, it's not going to be cloudy in Indianapolis, Indiana, on April 8th. It's going to have clear skies. We got to have clear skies because I want this live stream to be really, really good. So Indianapolis is right in the middle of the eclipse. They have the best seat on Earth. Indianapolis, Cleveland, Texas, Dallas, Fort Worth, Waco, Austin, San Antonio. Those are the best seats on Earth, period. Where I'm at right now, I'm over here in Phoenix, so I'm looking at, if I were to do it from here, 65%. That's all I can get. I can't get the total eclipse. So we're going to the path of totality on April 8th somewhere. Maybe it's Southern Illinois. Maybe it's Oklahoma. We'll see. We will see. But that's now 78 days, 19 hours away, and counting. Very, very cool. Okay. Oh, yeah, I was going to show you guys that split sky. I just showed you the split sky lightning. Here's another example. And guess where the video's from? Yeah, you're right. Florida. Here we go again, Florida. This isn't necessarily anything nefarious. Teelan out of Sebring, Florida, January 6th of 2024, 7 a.m. There's the split sky right there. And see what's inducing it right back there? A cloud. A cloud is simply diverting light, creating a shadow. And it's creating a straight line, just like the lightning that we just saw. That's all that was happening. Something was diverting the light, creating the split sky phenomenon. You can see it right there. Video out of Florida just from a few days ago. This is at 7 o'clock in the morning as the sun was coming up. This is unedited. I haven't done anything to it, put her name on it, or his name on it, from Sebring, Florida. And you can see the split sky right there. Got more sunbeams over here, low on the horizon. What's up, Alex? How's it going? You can see the sunbeams over there. There's a split sky right there. And we're not done yet. I mean, Florida is where it's happening. Look over here in the opposite direction. Got a big, bright pink rainbow. You can't make this stuff up. Thank you, Alex Petrout. Let me see who that is over there. That's very kind. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. Alex Patel III. Thank you, sir. So again, this video is unedited out of Florida. I didn't do anything to it but put the person's name on it to give them credit. Got pink skies, got rainbows, we've got split sky phenomena, we've got sunbeams coming up from the horizon. This is in the west sky, that's in the east sky, and then there's the split sky in between. We've got squares in the sky above Florida. Got people claiming to see aliens in the Miami Mall area. This just happened in Tampa Bay. Guy looks up less than 24 hours ago. Again, this is probably some of the most unique video footage you're going to see anywhere because, to the best of my knowledge, Alan hasn't shared this with anybody else but me. So unless you live in Tampa and you happen to look up and see this thing last night at 6:28 p.m., there you go. Yet another example of what looks like some sort of a shape, some sort of a ship in the sky above Florida. What's going on in Florida? I mean, if it's not one thing, it's another. Just stick around. I mean, there's always something going on in the skies of Florida. Unbelievable. The situation at the mall is also unbelievable, but it's true. It's true. Something happened in Florida, and we're trying to figure it out. And there are people that have a story to tell. They're wanting to tell their story. I just want to make sure that we're getting 100% accurate information, because you know how it is. Stuff flies around, and we just want to make sure things are confirmed. That's why the videos that I did before, that was unconfirmed, and I let that be known right up front. I had two different people share things with me. One was very difficult to even, it was in like 480p. I mean, come on, 480p. I don't even know if that they make cell phones in 480 anymore. But anyway, we'll get through it. Truth will come eventually. I'll take you guys now to South Africa. You ready? Here we go. They've been experiencing flooding in South Africa, heavy rains, and here's an example of the situation in South Africa, sent in by Kathy Alberton from the 16th. This might get a little noisy if you have in, ear pods, so I'll give you a couple of seconds. This is an incredible hailstones falling from the sky. You can hear it bouncing off of a roof in South Africa. I mean, they've been dealing with some severe weather. Here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Here we go. This is not hitting the roof. Look at that, like golf balls bouncing around. You would not want to be out in that. You would not want to be out in that, I promise. That would hurt. That's coming down at about 100 miles an hour out of the sky. You hear that? Something just broke. This is in South Africa. That's one of the smaller ones. They've been dealing with severe weather in South Africa. I don't know if you guys have heard, but a lot of flooding, situations like this. Look at the size of some of that hail. That's like nearly tennis ball size. Look at that. That is nuts. That right there would be damage to vehicles. Any vehicles that were outside during that right now are loaded with dents. Loaded. That'll break windows right there. That size right there, that's tennis ball size. Here's where it starts raining a little harder. You can see things out here just completely covered right there. That thing's full of ice over there on the left. Yeah, they've been dealing with heavy rains, flooding in parts of South Africa here recently, doing some extensive damage in some areas. This here, this location in South Africa, she wasn't exactly sure. She didn't say. She just said South Africa. This is from the 16th, but that right there did damage to probably not necessarily homes. I suppose it could have, but that'll definitely do a lot of damage to cars right there. Absolutely. Big hailstorm in South Africa. Unbelievable. Okay, guys, we're going to go to Havasu now. Havasu, Arizona. Here we go. I just received this video footage today. Once again, it's less than probably 24, 36 hours old. Sent in by Howrad out of Havasu, Arizona. Check out what looks like a grid up in the sky. He was filming hot air balloons in Havasu, Arizona. All right. Couldn't help but notice these unusual, what looked like a grid. We've seen this before. I haven't seen this in a while up in the sky. It just looked totally unnatural. There's a balloon there. There was other balloons over there. I was just kind of focusing on the grid in the sky. These perfectly straight lines above Havasu. I think that up by Havasu City, Arizona, Lake Havasu. How does that happen naturally? There's a balloon there. There's a couple more balloons over here. Then there's another balloon down there. How rad out of Havasu, Arizona. Another balloon over there getting ready to land. There was a situation with a balloon out here in Arizona, south of me, about a week or 10 days ago. That was not a good situation. The balloon fell out of the sky or something. Very weird. Something that does not happen very often. But this here, some sort of strange lines in the sky during a balloon event in Havasu, Arizona. How rad. Thank you, how rad. Really appreciate that. I'm going to take you guys now to Ontario. Let me give you the backstory first so you'll know what's going on here. This isn't super loud, so you won't have to adjust your speakers, but you're going to hear a strange sound coming from the sky up in Ontario. Here's the backstory. Here we go. Okay. Whoops, where'd the backstory go? We got to get the backstory so we can understand what's going on here, so I can convey the message. All right, here we go. Okay, the video was sent in by Davis and Clint out of Mitchell, Ontario. Here we go. Video is from January 15th, taken in Mitchell, Ontario, which is in southwestern rural Ontario, around 5:40 p.m. In the video, you will hear a ringing noise, trumpets, sky trumpets, as they called them. Debbie Campbell trying to send a video. Oh, really? From Lauderdale? Sorry, guys, hold on. Trying to send a video from, okay, Fort Lauderdale. Okay, thank you. Go to the website, MrMBB333.com. The best way to do it, guys. Seriously, let me show you real quick. If you want to send a video, this is the easiest way right here. Just go right there. It's a Dropbox. Just drag and drop your video in there. Please include your first name, date, and location. I'll take it from there. That's how I got this video right here from Davis and Clint. The sound had been going on for a few minutes before they started recording it. And at first, they thought it was the horn from a train that rolls through town about once a day. However, the train only ever does two short and one longer honk and then passes on through. And does two short, one longer honk again. That's it. I've never heard the train honk long at all like you're going to hear here in this video. The sound definitely seems to come from the sky and not from the ground below. Also, the sound was not coming from the arena that's across the street in the video. They just found this super mysterious. So here's the backstory to the video that you're going to see right here. Again, it's not super loud. I toned down the volume so it wouldn't be blaring in your speakers, but you're going to hear a strange sound coming from the sky from Ontario, Canada, from January 15th of 2024. 2024 has been a mysterious year. We're off to a very mysterious start here in 2024. 5:40 p.m. Here, this just went on and on and on. you serious? It just keeps going and going and going. And that went on. That started before he started the video. Some sort of a weird sound coming from the sky. He was very clear saying this was not coming from the ground. It wasn't a train. Trains don't blow their horns for over a minute and a half nonstop anyway. He was very confident that that strange sound was coming from the sky out of Mitchell, Ontario, which is rural Ontario, January 15th at 5:40 p.m. Good video, guys. Thanks for sharing. Really appreciate that. Every once in a while, we'll get videos of strange sounds coming from the sky. I remember it's been a few years ago, got video footage of what sounded like metal shifting around up in the sky. Remember those from a few years ago? You could hear it sounded like like a big barge or something that you would hear on a river that was moving and twisting, like twisting metal or something up in the sky. Wow. Now that one was a little different. It was some sort of just a constant noise, about the same decibels. I don't know what that was. Very interesting though. Very interesting though. These here are every once in a while we get things we can't identify. Sometimes we get things we can identify. This is one of those times. Sent in by Ronald M. from January 11th of 2024. A video was taken just a few days ago at 6 o'clock, 6:11 p.m. He was looking off in the distance. This video is in fast forward. It was around, I don't know, a minute and a half, 2 minutes long. I put it fast forward for presentation purposes, and here's why. Because every once in a while, we get videos with mysterious orange lights in the sky. We just saw some from Alaska, right? It was a multicolored light, but it was visible in the sky for an extended period of time. These are visible for a short period of time. They're at the mercy of the wind. They're going up slowly, and then they disappear. You guys know what they are. I just want to make sure that if you see something like that in the sky and you've never seen anything like this before, just know more than likely this is nothing more than a novelty Chinese lantern that's just drifting up into the sky. People will set them off for a variety of reasons, sometimes for birthdays, memorials, holidays. You'll see an increase of these things in the nighttime sky, usually right after dark. Those are classic, and I mean classic Chinese lanterns. So if you ever see something like that, just know probably a Chinese lantern. What we just saw in Alaska, though, out of Kenai by our friend David, that was not a Chinese lantern. That's why I like to show those things when I do get them, because it just adds more validity to what we're seeing here. This is valid. This is a valid, mysterious light. That is not a Chinese lantern. If it was, it would have done just like that when it was slowly drifted up at the mercy of the wind and then just turn off. It did not. It had like its own propulsion system, its own energy source. Chinese lanterns are illuminated by a flame, an internal flame that only lasts for maybe 60 seconds. And then, that's about it with regard to Chinese lanterns. So if you ever see those in the sky, just know that that's what they more than likely are. If you ever see one of those. Received this video by my friend Nelson Jinks, a cosmic neighbor, seen in exquisite detail. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because of this. This is considered a star factory, right? And if we look out into where are we at here? Do I have that one? Yeah. If you looked out into the nighttime sky, if you had a view of the nighttime sky, a really true view of the nighttime sky, that's what it looks like. Looks like that. The sky glitters like it's just loaded with jewels. You could go into the mountains over here in Arizona, and not too far from here, and it's a nice black night sky. Hey, what's up, Michael? The teenagers recorded. I know. I'm hearing that. Yeah, they did. Yeah, exactly. There would be videos all over the place, but supposedly he was told to delete. But this is what the night sky looks like. Stars galore, right? Here, I just want you to, just something to think about here. This is like a stellar nursery. It's what they call these things. Just a loose term. This is where stars are born, where stars are made, right? Kind of like a star factory. But on the grand scheme of things, Where's the planet factories? You ever ask that question? Well, oh, we always hear about star factories. That's a star factory. There's stars being made up here in the stellar nursery that's loaded with cosmic dust and gases and stuff like that. And keep in mind, it's very cold in there. It's negative 400 degrees Fahrenheit. I mean, it's cold. Where's the planet factory? Hmm. Well, the reason I say that, I just want you to get your wheels turning up here because I've given this a lot of thought for a long time, okay? Probably since I went back to my planet hunting days in 2010. I used to look at star maps like this. Talk about boring. But the thought of finding an exoplanet was quite exciting. I got to be honest with you. So I did it. I was a planet hunter. I was one of the first planet hunters many years ago with Kepler. I cataloged two, whether they got named or not. I never followed up, but I did do it. But my thing was this: we got star factories all over the place. Where's the planet factories? There probably aren't any, right? Just think about it. Just think about it. There probably aren't any planet factories. What does that mean? We'll talk about that later, right? But that's a really cool video there, presentation sent in by our friend Nelson Jinks. Thank you, Nelson. I really appreciate that. Those of you that did not see, I out here in Arizona, I never see halos like this. This is a halo sent in by Joy. The atmosphere up in the sky has to be so cold in order for this to happen. And I mean cold, Leo Nix. Thank you, Leo. There's got to be ice up here. Check this out. I'm in Arizona. I saw something similar to that, but only a little more dramatic yesterday. Check this out. Totally bizarre. Again, in the sky above Arizona. It's like, what? I know most of you probably didn't see the footage that I shared in yesterday's video, so I'm going to share it today. This first photo was sent in by our friend Loranda Ledrew. I believe she's out of Canada. It's very cold up there. It's cold right now. There's a lot of ice particles in the air. St. Augustine, Florida, Chris. Wyndham, Minnesota, Mary F. Once again, a lot of ice particulates, even low. Scotty L.S., January 18th. Same type of thing, but we see these year round. It's not uncommon to see a halo like that. Even in the summertime, there's joys. When you get the bright lights on the side and on the top, that tells you there's a lot of ice. And usually when there's a polar vortex underway or departing, this is in Arizona. Check this out. I stepped outside at 11 o'clock on the 19th, actually yesterday, looked up and saw that. In Arizona, I saw the white. Watch, there's two. Check it out, because I know most of you didn't see this. So here we go. Got the halo, the horizontal halo. Look, Arizona. Yeah. And of course, the vertical halo. We've all seen those. But look, went all the way around. Arizona. Wow, I've never seen that in Arizona. Never. Not that. Not the horizontal white halo that went like that. It was a halo in the sky, a ring in the sky above my head. Two, the vertical one in the sun, in the area of the sun, and then that one that went above my head with the bright spot there. It looked like white suns off in the distance. You can see the white one right there. You could actually see it. And right there was another white point. Yeah, it was really pretty cool. I've never seen that in Arizona, me personally. Right there's that white dot that kind of looks like a white sun, even though it's not a white sun. Debbie Campbell. Strolling, where are you strolling to? Debbie Campbell strolling to. May I send you email? Of course. Reports at MrMBB333.com. All right, guys, that's all I got for today in today's video. I appreciate you spending part of your Saturday with me. If you guys have any photos or videos you'd like to share, you can send those to reports at MrMBB333.com. This is a still image of that incredible video that Joy sent in of the recent jumbo halo that she saw. If you have any large videos you'd like to share that are too large to attach to the email, come over here to the homepage of the website. You can always find a link down below in the description box. Look for the red banner that says have a large video. It's a Dropbox. Drag and drop your video into the Dropbox. Please include your first name, date, and location. That's all we need. I kind of like to know where we're looking at. Don't need your last name. If you want to include that, that's perfectly fine. First name, that's all that's necessary. And you really don't even have to do that. First initial, that's fine. And the date and time. That would be absolutely fantastic. All right, guys, that's all I got for today. Thanks for watching. Have a super day and be safe out there.